Have you guys ever seen Scarface? No, not the 1932 version, the Al Pacino one. Al says it's his favorite, and we gotta agree that it's one of our favorites too. Welcome back to Review Lens. Say hello to one of the most iconic anti-heroes in movie history. Scarface isn't subtle, it's loud, violent, and endlessly quotable. Directed by Brian De Palma and written by Oliver Stone, it's a 2.5-hour coke-soaked climb to the top and the free fall that follows. But beyond the guns and gold chains is a film full of character and characters. Let's break it down like we do at Review Lens. Cast, context, and what makes it still hit more than 40 years later. First, Al Pacino as Tony Montana, the immigrant who arrives in Miami with nothing and builds a criminal empire with nothing but nerve, ruthlessness, and ambition. Pacino's performance is explosive. He leans into Tony's rough Cuban accent, oversized rage, and hair-trigger charisma. The character is based loosely on the original 1932 Scarface, but this time it's reimagined as a Cuban guy grinding his way up the 1980s drug hierarchy. Tony's accent, by the way, 100% Pacino. He reportedly spent months training with Cuban immigrants to get the voice right and injured his hand for real during the chainsaw scene, forcing a production pause during filming in Los Angeles. Now take Steven Bauer as Manny Ribera, Tony's best friend and right-hand man. He's charming, smooth, and, critically, the conscience Tony doesn't listen to. Bauer is one of the only actual Cuban Americans in the cast, and this was his breakout role. In fact, he was nominated for a Golden Globe for his performance, which doesn't get talked about enough. Michelle Pfeiffer plays Elvira Hancock, the icy, emotionally distant woman who goes from Frank Lopez's mistress to Tony's disillusioned wife. Pfeiffer was mostly unknown at the time and had to fight for the role. During her audition, she reportedly accidentally cut director De Palma with a broken wine glass. She was starving herself to maintain Elvira's wafer-thin, coked-out frame, a decision she later said she regretted, but it's part of what makes her so powerfully hollow on screen. Robert Loggia plays Frank Lopez, the suave, dangerous cartel boss who brings Tony in. Loggia gives Frank a sleek menace. He rarely raises his voice, but there's control in every line, until Tony breaks it. His final scene? Cold, brilliant, and brutal. There's also Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio as Gina, Tony's younger sister. She starts gentle, innocent, and ends up at the center of one of the film's most tragic threads. Tony's obsession with protecting her spirals into paranoia and leads to a scene that's both haunting and controversial. And here's real-life context. During the club shooting scene, Mastrantonio was actually grazed by flying debris. Her stunned reaction on camera was genuine. She wasn't hurt, but it looked cool. Now let's talk context. The film was written by Oliver Stone, while he was personally struggling with addiction. Instead of glamorizing the world of Scarface, he wrote it as a cautionary tale. He moved to Paris to kick cocaine while writing the script because, by his own admission, he couldn't do it in the United States. De Palma's direction is stylized but gritty. Scarface is full of wide-angle shots, long dolly tracks, and brutal close-ups that linger on the consequences of violence. That famous chainsaw scene? It was so intense, the MPAA initially rated the film X, which would have killed its distribution. De Palma mocked the system by turning in 3 alternate cuts, knowing he'd still release the original anyway. The third cut got an R, and De Palma went ahead and just released his first version. The production design is outrageous, on purpose. Gold bathtubs, tiger print upholstery, massive surveillance rooms. Tony's mansion is designed like a fortress of ego. And the final sequence? You know it. Under siege, firing at shadows, blood on the carpet. Say hello to my little friend is shouted, copied, and sampled. But when you rewatch that scene, it still punches like the first time. And here's the irony. Scarface was divisive when it premiered. Many critics thought it was too violent, too vulgar. Some Cuban-American groups protested its depiction of immigrants. But what lasts isn't the gold or the guns, it's the performance. Pacino gives us a monster with a soul, a man shaped by trauma, ego, and the American dream twisted into cartel logic. And if you really look, Scarface isn't cool. It's cautionary. Every cocaine-dusted high comes with a bigger fall. And at the end of the day, nobody gets out clean. This isn't just a gangster movie. It's Shakespeare in a white suit. So that's a wrap on Scarface. How many of you saw it in the theater? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more reviews and deep dives into great movies. As always, see ya on the next one. Save us a balcony seat and extra butter on the popcorn.